Today I'm here on North Padre Island, and I'm going to be talking to Dusty, who is a full-time local resident here, and she's going to be talking to us about living on North Padre Island. If you're thinking about moving to the Texas coast, you're not going to want to miss this. So how long have you lived on North Padre Island?
Well, I've lived here about 5.5 years, and I just love it.
So what made you move out here?
Well, it was kind of funny. I had a beach house in Port Aransas that my late husband and I had built in order to retire in. And he had passed away, so I retired alone there. Well, it was palatial and faced the beach, and it was beachfront, but it was very lonely. And I just felt like Port Aransas was a very transient tourist town.
Mm-hmm.
And so I moved over here, and I just love it. And I love they don't allow short-term rentals in the single-family homes, which is really fabulous because it maintains a quality of life with neighbors that you will get to know and that you will enjoy becoming part of things that happen in town.
To describe the community over here.
Oh, it's very friendly. These are full-time residents for the most part, and they just love it here. Everybody loves it here, and there's all kinds of groups to join here on the island. There's a group for everybody, at least one group for everybody, whether it's you like playing spades or fishing or playing mahjong. There's a group here for you.
Oh, that's so fun. What kind of stuff do you do in your spare time?
Well, right below this gazebo part of my deck, I have a jet ski,
Mm-hmm.
which I love to take out. And I'll take it over to what's called the ski basin. And I like to swim in the ski basin. And during the week, there's virtually nobody over there, just a couple people fishing. And so it's wide open for swimming. Then I also have a paddleboard, and there's a ladies' kayak and paddleboard group on the island. And we do things together. And so I enjoy that. So I can drop it in here into the water, or I can take the paddleboard somewhere else on the island and explore. It's really, really a lovely life here.
That's so nice. I know there's a couple of different beaches around. Which do you go to the beaches and?
I do. I like the Whitecap Beach, and I'm particularly impressed with the fact that the sand here is so easy to walk on. There's no rocks, there's no shells. You can go barefoot all the way down and back if you want, and you won't hurt your feet.
Do people fish a lot in the area?
Yes, constantly. In fact, you don't need to leave my house to fish. There are so many fish in the canals, and lots of people do.
Yeah.
I'm just not much of a fisher person, but there are trout in here too.
Mm-hmm.
And most of my neighbors fish, and across the street there's a guy who fishes every morning. It's like the local hobby.
Yeah, and a lot of these homes have boat lifts, so they can just go in their backyard and just
Yes.
get on their boat and just take off, right?
And it's a lot easier when you don't have to haul it to a boat lift.
Right.
Or excuse me, to a boat ramp. Yeah, you can just
agree.
drop it in the water in your backyard and go, and it's wonderful. And if you only have an hour to go out, you go out for an hour. You know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So do you go to Corpus Christi? So the island is kind of a small area, right? So there's some great restaurants and some great little shops. Do you have to go to Corpus Christi for anything?
Well, I do, because I like to shop. It has a Dillard's, and we don't have a Dillard's on the island.
That's true, yes.
But the restaurants here are top quality. And
yes.
Fabulous food. And so really you don't need to go to Corpus to eat out. You can stay and eat on North Padre Island, and you'll have some wonderful meals.
What are a couple of your go-to restaurants that you really enjoy going to?
Well, Island Italian for one.
Okay.
Okay, because I just love Italian food. And the second part to that equation was, if I'm not eating Italian food, I really like Tex-Mex food, and there are several. Now, the Island Time Sushi Bar and Steak Place with their Himalayan salt block that they cook the steak on, that's the best I've ever had.
Really?
Yes, and I worked for a drug company in Manhattan, so I've had good steak.
You've had good steak. One thing I want to talk about is traffic, because from Corpus, you have to go over the bridge to get over here. And so is traffic an issue on a daily basis?
No, surprisingly. Okay, I've subbed at various hospitals in the area, and that has not been an issue, with the exception of weekends with the summer tourists.
Okay.
Then it's a very big issue getting on and off the island on Friday all the way through Sunday is you're going to wait. You're just going to wait. And there has been a lot of construction on the bridge going over to Corpus. So that's another consideration, that when they're working on it, it's going to take you longer to get into Corpus and home.
Right. I remember coming here, going to the beach during the summers, and sometimes the bridge is really backed up.
Yes.
So yeah, it's good to know on a regular basis it's not too bad.
It's not bad at all on a regular basis. I can tell you that the traffic here is the least of any place I've ever lived.
Are there any local events or festivals in the community that you look forward to?
Yes, as a matter of fact, next weekend is the Mardi Gras parade with the floats, and everybody builds floats and has their costumes already. And it's on the White Cat Beach. And I believe it's from 11 a.m. till 2. Next weekend, I believe it's on Saturday. No, Sunday. So that's always a big deal. We also have bingo put on by the Kiwanis Club at the Hard Knocks restaurant for 6 weeks during the winter.
Okay.
And there'll be 500 people in that restaurant playing bingo. It is so fun. All ages come. It's not just for old people. Everybody goes.
Are there a lot of winter Texans that come here as well?
Yes.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And they seem to really enjoy it. And there are winter Texan type of activities everywhere. Certain restaurants have early bird dinners and such.
Well, that makes it so fun.
It is.
Yeah.
It is.
Is this a walkable area, or do you have to drive everywhere?
Okay. I would say driving, or a golf cart, or a bicycle. These streets are very long.
Right.
And I don't recommend walking everywhere, because you just won't get anywhere fast enough. This is actually a very large island. And you have to really take into consideration that the main strip is Park Road 22 and South Padre Island Drive, that everything is off of that. So I am very, very far away from that, probably 6-7 miles. So walking is not an option.
Right.
But you can ride your bike,
Right.
Or you could take a golf cart, which most people do.
That sounds fun. And I love seeing people ride around on their golf carts, because I just think it's so island-like. And
I love to see them when they have a dog strapped into a dog seat on the golf cart.
Oh my gosh.
And that dog is so happy.
Oh, I think that the dogs would be so happy on a golf cart for sure. Well, I think that's about it. One thing is, what is it like during the peak tourist seasons besides the traffic?
The restaurants are full earlier and they're full later. They're just full. And if you want to eat at a certain time and you're not flexible with your time frames, you'll want to make reservations.
That's a great tip.
Yeah.
That's a great tip. Is there anything else that you think that someone moving or considering to move to North Padre Island might want to know?
The canal life is fabulous. We have the friendliest people you'll ever meet. And there's a group here for everybody. So welcome to the clubs, because there's a lot of them.
That's awesome. Well, thank you so much. Dusty, for helping us understand what life on North Padre Island is
Sure,
all
Holly,
about.
my pleasure.
Thank you.
You know, these may not be what they usually eat. Those